Speaker. This was not a serious budget, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I'm not referring to the bad jokes that littered the Chancellor's speech, which were as weak as the Tory government that delivered them. Last Wednesday, for an hour, colleagues on this bench and myself waited desperately to hear something that would help the people we represent live a decent life. Instead, we got a budget spending more on an ultra-hard Brexit to appease its own party and harm the country than spending on the NHS. And while the improvements on universal credit were welcome, they're too little, too late. The relief from the reduction in 6-week wait is only minimal when compared to the thousands that many families dependent on these benefits are set to lose. And by far the worst legacy here must be the public sector pay cap. Cardiff North has 19,000 public sector workers, the highest percentage in Wales, and I know they really hope this budget would end the disgraceful pay freeze that has seen nurses using food banks and care workers struggling to make ends meet. And one thing we learnt to appreciate since last budget in the spring is how desperately dependent we are on public services. And these are the public sector workers, Mr Deputy Speaker, that the Chancellor's budget leaves worse off than they were 7 years ago. Austerity is not a policy choice, Mr Deputy Speaker, it is political. And yesterday we saw the Secretary of State launch his industrial strategy to address weaknesses in our economy. The UK's economy has been systematically underperforming at almost every key measure. Our productivity is down, and we have the most geographically unbalanced economy in Europe. And part of boosting our productivity is investing in renewables. They're set to be the backbone of our modern energy system, and the plummeting cost of wind power means onshore and offshore wind can help improve the UK's competitiveness and improve productivity. So it is hugely disappointing that the strategy does not set out how we can continue to support onshore wind, the cheapest of new generation energy. And we've yet to see an announcement on the Swansea Bay Tidal Lagoon. This was a missed opportunity to invest in infrastructure for the future. And a cap on funding in renewables until 2025, this government shows it has a long way to go before it can deliver on clean growth. Finally, Mr Speaker, I'm frustrated and fearful at the prospect of the financial impact a shambolic Tory Brexit has on the British and Welsh economy. The budget includes £1 billion of additional capital funding to Wales, but more than half must be repaid. This budget is a missed opportunity, Mr Deputy Speaker. We need to see one that's truly transformed, not more of the same.
Ms Davis.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to follow